Well, Republicans and Democrats are sharing their thoughts about what Donald Trump said. He said, I'm the president of the United States of America, and I can do anything I want to do. A majority of them, 7%, are not with the president. No, they don't believe the president should have immunity and control to do whatever the hell he wants. And they said they're going to make it known in the midterms in 2028. See, Donald Trump is making a whole lot of people mad. Not only wealthy people, but people in the middle class. Homeless people, poor people, because they're losing so many benefits, and the president just tells you he don't give a damn. He's making a majority of Americans and voters angry. And you know what happens when that happens? They go to the polls and vote. They make their voices known. They don't agree that Donald Trump can do anything he wants because he's president of the United States of America. No, they believe in righteousness. They believe in doing the right thing. They actually believe in the Constitution. So Trump administration, this is going to come back and bite you in the butt. And I cannot wait until that happens.
All right, let's have a little chit chat for you Republicans out there and Trump supporters. I think it's real shitty the fact that Donald Trump nor the Republicans did not want to lower the flag when the Minnesota speaker, which was a Democrat, when her and her husband got shot. But oh my God, we had to do it when Charlie Kirkman got shot. I mean, come on. This guy was out here being a racist, demoralizing people, not being a good person, putting a lot of divide in this country, and we're gonna lower it for that. Why? Because Donald Trump was paying him. Donald Trump was paying him to go out to these college campuses where all these kids are super gullible to go out and get Trumps for Donald Trump, so Donald Trump could avoid prison and his kids could avoid prison, because we all know the indictments were coming. So he hires Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk goes out and starts spreading this message. How do you buy a $3.5 million house going to college campuses and doing some YouTube videos? Absolutely not. He was on a big fat payroll to keep people out of prison. So it's real shitty how the Republicans are, and it's more shitty how Donald Trump is. And that's exactly why I'll never support Trump. So you can fuck off.
In today's breaking story, Republicans have just erupted as Donald Trump and Republicans' hypocrisies were blasted by Congress. That's right, Donald Trump continues to sow more and more division. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, thanks to Donald Trump, Congress is almost always being thrown into chaos. Recently, Nancy Mace started screaming in the middle of Congress, all because a Democrat called out some Republicans.
How much time is left?
The gentlelady has 1.5 minutes remaining.
Thank you. I would just like to point out that I think it's very interesting that my colleague from South Carolina is so obsessed with the issue of trans people, using horrible slurs to talk about them, when many people in this body have received gender-affirming care. Filler is gender-affirming care. Boob jobs is gender-affirming care. Botox is gender-affirming care. Lots of my colleagues have received gender-affirming care, and let me be clear, I think everyone should have access to the gender-affirming care that they need, and I think we should respect everybody in this country. With that, I yield back.
Ridiculous. You are absolutely ridiculous.
Lady is not recognized. Order. The House will be in order. The gentlelady and the gentleman will suspend. The House will be in order.
And it's no surprise that this is the kind of reaction we get, because Trump's administration is filled to the brim with absolute lunatics. Take Scott Bessent, for example.
You had some familiarity with Bessent, I guess, before he was Treasury Secretary. Is that?
Yeah,
is
we're
that
in the same world. I mean, I don't know how exactly, you put $4.5 billion to work on a Thursday, but he was down 50% of the time he was there. And I mean, I don't see any way to view him as anything but a failed hedge fund manager. So he started with $4.5 billion of assets under management. He shut down the fund with $577 million. So he lost 90% of his capital.
That's down. Stores. Now, I'm not that great at math, but $4.5 billion to $577 million. That seems bad. If that happened to our economy, for example, now he's a Treasury Secretary, that would yield a lot of pain.
A lot of pain. And it's interesting because he's sort of touted as the guy to calm Wall Street, that the dear leader is not going to ruin everything, right?
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of evidence he was so good on Wall Street.
And now Congress just erupted as furious Republicans lashed out, all after Trump's policies were called out and Republicans' hypocrisies were exposed. Take a look at today's top story.
No, I just have a question for my colleague from the state of Louisiana, because I'm curious as to where your bill is. Louisiana is the state with the second highest rate of deaths in this nation. You are more likely to be shot standing on a random street in your state than you are in Washington, D.C. So my question is, where's your bill for the occupation of the state of Louisiana to keep your people safe, if you're at all sincere in this?
Gentleman, yield for an answer.
I yield for an answer.
I support state rights. I'm a constitutionalist.
But not D.C.?
Stand by. As a constitutionalist, I support my state, my sovereign state's legislature, which is doing everything it can to push back upon the crime rate of the Democrat-controlled cities.
Okay, so I'll take my time back. I'll take my time back.
If you remove
That's the rules.
crime stats
That's the
of New
rules.
Orleans,
I'll take my time back. I'll take my time back. So you only invoke the rules when other people are speaking, not when you're speaking. Okay.
That's your time.
I agree with you. Look, I'm for state sovereignty. So what do you think about California?
Wouldn't it be nice if the Republicans cared about the people as much as they do about Donald Trump? I mean, they go on Fox News every single day and defend him no matter what. They say, you know what? Yeah, he doesn't have any policy that's going to make anybody's life better. And yeah, he's a convicted felon. And yeah, he makes fun of people and bullies them. But that's no big deal, right? And then the people are saying, hey, can you pass a bill that, like, lowers healthcare costs or, you know, care about our environment or give women their reproductive rights back? And they say, no. That's communism. That's socialism. That's the radical left Democrats. Like, come on.
Here's something you'll probably never hear me say ever again. I completely agree with this Republican member of Congress. 100% agree. No notes. Release the files.
When Republicans online and throughout America want to tell you that it is Democrats that are out spreading hate and causing the political divide, I want you to show them this video.
Party does not fight for, care about, or represent American citizens. It is an entity devoted exclusively to the defense of hardened criminals, gangbangers, and illegal alien killers and terrorists. The Democrat Party is not a political party. It is a domestic extremist organization.
That is Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller. That is the guy that is working in the White House directly with the President of the United States. He's working in the White House with the President of the United States of America. So when you guys on the right are talking about we Democrats are spreading hate and divisiveness, you need to look at your own side and at that White House and realize that you have some extremism going on in that White House. The Trump White House is responsible for a lot of hate and a lot of bullshit that's going on in this country, and it starts at the 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, modern out.